What's up YouTube, today I have myself wargames bringing you, as you can see before you, a budget Toon deck. Now that Toon Kingdom has been reprinted, it has become a hell of a lot cheaper for all of those collectors out there, and of course all of those people that just wanted to play Toons for fun. Now the price is still a little bit fluctuated because of the ratios in boxes, like sometimes you'll get none, sometimes you'll get a playset, but I believe because it's only a rare, it will eventually start to settle down in price, which will then make the whole deck a little bit more budget. Now, I've put this together as a bit of fun, but as also a little bit competitiveness, which is why we've got this little engine here that I'll show you what we've got and kind of how it integrates with the rest of the deck. So what I'm going to do without further delay is I'm going to take you through the deck profile, show you what we've got and explain why we've got it, and then we can kind of go from there. So we start off with triple Toon Masked Sorcerer. This is obviously your draw power, or one of your draw power cards. When he's normal summoned, if you have the ability to protect him, when it attacks directly, you get to draw one card. We've got double Toon Dark Magician. Now again, a very, very cool card because he can basically search or special summon a Toon monster from your deck, except itself, ignoring the summoning conditions. Obviously, he's a little bit harder to get on board unless you bring out like Dark Magic Vow and stuff like that to special summon him to board. But because we're playing the second engine, which I'll show you in a minute, you've got a bit more time to slow down the game, which is why he becomes a little bit more consistent and a bit more powerful. We've got double Toon Cyber Dragon. Again, very, very helpful if you do have to go second. It just gets you a Toon monster on board and then kind of gives you fodder for tributes if you need it, or just a nice 2100 beat that can attack directly, which is very, very useful. We've then got the one Toon Red Eyes. This kind of very, very nice, but it only helps unclog your hands. So the kind of ideal combo is you would go Dark Magician into Red Eyes, and then Red Eyes would get one out of your hand. Then you can then normal summon a monster, and you've got 4 monsters on board already. Now, obviously, if they can't attack the turn they're summoned, you then link them up or whatever, and kind of move your plays forward that way. We've got the one Toon Dark Magician girl to kind of work in tandem with Toon Mask, just to give you another option should you need it. And of course, she's a very, very good card to have in this deck in that sense, just to give you the range. Which is the exact same reason we've got Toon Mermaid, just to give you an additional kind of card on board with the special summon that then gives you the access to linking up or to XYZ, and if you need to stall your opponent out, you can play her at more than one should you wish, but it just gives you the option to go with. And then the exact same reason why we played the one Toon Gemini Elf, it gives you another normal summon monster, but then you can start ripping from your opponent's hand, which is very, very useful and powerful in this deck. Now, the next monster engine we use is triple Eater of Millions and triple Grenmanju, and then double Necrophase. Now, the reason we're playing this is Joe mentioned Grenmanju to me. You're already banishing stuff off your Toon Kingdoms, both protecting and activating. Eater of Millions is an incredibly powerful card that, with the special summon ability, can kind of stall your opponent down a little bit, especially when they don't rely on the extra deck that heavily. Necrophase, because you're banishing so much, and we play Demise in this deck, if you banish a Necrophase, you're going to banish even more, and then if you normal summon that Necrophase, you're bringing all that banished stuff back, and it's going to be a hell of a beater Necrophase, so it gives you the ability to recover should your opponent get rid of your Toon Kingdom. The exact same reason for Grenmanju. The amount you're banishing in general with your Desires, and then of course your Toon Kingdom, Grenmanju is a bit more effective in the deck as well, because it has a natural built-in banish ability, and then when Grenmanju hits the board, you've just got a very, very nice beater to kind of deal with any of your opponent's cards. And you have cards around you like Eater of Millions and Toon to kind of drag your opponent's cards out, especially comboing off your Toon monsters with, of course, their own spells and traps. So that's it for the monster lineup. It is like a 50 card deck, and that's purely because the amount that we banish, we want to have a bit of consistency in the deck and not want to deck ourselves out. So speaking of which, we play triple Toon Kingdom, obviously a nice little reprint in rare for all you guys out there. It gives you a bit of protection for your monsters that can't be targeted by card effects, and then if a Toon monster would be destroyed by card effect, battle or card effect, you banish one card from your top of your deck face down instead. The issue is it doesn't protect itself. It should have had a built-in ability that, like, once per turn, if this card would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, it's not destroyed, which would have been really, really nice for deck. But regardless, triple Terraform, because it is a protect the castle kind of deck, you do need Toon Kingdom to help your Toons work, but that's why we put in the Necrophase, Eater of Millions and Grenmanju engine, just to give you another option for a win con. 2 Comic Hand, this is very, very nice. Like, you can steal your opponent's boss monsters. I've actually stole a Buster Dragon with this before, and it won me a game. It's really, really cool. It turns it into a Toon, and then it can attack directly, so it's very, very nice to play around with. We've got the one Mimicat. Now you can play this at 2 if you want, because obviously you can start stealing your opponent's back row in their graveyard and of course monsters in their graveyard, and that can give you more access to your extra deck, or just giving you more tribute fodder to get into like Dark Magicians a bit more consistently. So you can definitely play this at more than 1 if you want, but the ratio that I've kind of got is the one Mimicat and the one Monster Reborn, just to kind of give us a nice little balance. But because Mimicat did get a reprint, again you can pick that up. So it gives you a couple of options to work around with. The other engine that we've got is the Banish engine, and that is triple soul absorption, just because you always want to plus when you're banishing. So if you open up this with like a Toon Kingdom or of course a Desires, that's a nice 5k straight there, and then it stops your opponent playing Desires. There are a couple of times where your opponent's like, I really don't want to play Desires, but I might actually have to, and then they do, and you gain 5k anyway. Triple Pot of Desires, again, kind of helps with your consistency, and because we're playing over a 40 card deck, it's very, very easy to do so. Double Gold Sark sets you out pretty much your Toon Kingdom, any of your 2 monsters you might need, your Grand Manju, your Necroface, anything like that, and can be very, very helpful in the deck. And then double Instant Fusion to get into that Millennium Eyes Restrict that we play in our extra deck to stop our opponent ashing our terraforming or like Ghost Ogreing any of our stuff, and it kind of gives us the ability to protect our board a lot more, which is very, very nice. So that's it for the spell lineup. Now on to the trap lineup. There's kind of a shorter trap lineup in this sense, but it is quite protective. We've got triple Storm and Mirror Force. Now of course Quaking was a lot better in this deck, but now that it doesn't hit link monsters, Storming is probably the better option in my opinion. You can still play Quaking for those times that your opponent floods the board with general monsters, and then just wants to attack him for game, and then that can kind of deal with your opponent's Naruto and Vortex, because they'll be forced to kind of activate those, but it does give you a couple of options with that. We've then got the 2 Toon Masks. This just helps get you your 2 monsters from your deck to the field, ignoring their summoning conditions. Stuff like your like off of Astrograph, you can get your Dark Magicians, you can get your Dark Magician Girl, you can get your Red Eyes. Off of Naruto and stuff like that, you can kind of get anything down. So you special summon a 2 monster from your hand or deck whose level is less than or equal to the level of rank of that monster, ignoring its summoning conditions that you target. So you know, you can, if you target level 7, you get any of your 2 monsters out, and then you kind of work your way down that way. And it can kind of help if you've got Toon Kingdom on board, you get them on board, and then you kind of sitting there stalling your opponent out. And then Toon Briefcase, I really, really like this card in Toons. So when your opponent summons a monster or monsters, while you control a Toon monster, shuffle that monster or monsters into the deck. So it's a nice little compulse for all monsters, which is very, very nice. If your opponent goes on like Pendulum Summons, you Toon Briefcase, they all go back in. And the best thing about Toons is not many people expect these kind of cards, so you can kind of catch them off guard. So that's it for the traps there. Now onto the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we'll start off with our XYZs. We play a nice rank 4 kind of standard build, and that is a number 41 Baguska, a Tornado Dragon, and then we've got a Castell, and we've got a number 82 Heartland Draco. Because your field spell is that important, 9 out of 10 you're going to have it on board, and Heartland Draco can actually win you games. You've got your number 101 Silent Honor Arc, and then you've got the Utopia package, just to help deal with any monsters that you can't really beat over naturally with your Toon monsters. We then play a couple of rank 7s, the Red Eyes Flare for the burn damage, and the Big Eye to kind of snatch and steal your opponent's link monsters to help extend your board, or any monsters you might require. Then of course you can link up if you want to into like Underclock Taker and move your plays forward that way. But it still gives you a couple of powerful options. Then onto our links. Speaking of which, we play the 1 Underclock Taker. You can play this at 2 if you wish. I play 1 Underclock and 1 Proxy. Proxy to give us a bit more protection, not that you need it entirely, but it does give you that, just try and get the card down, there we go, does give you that ability to protect. You can play a 2nd Underclock Taker should you not want to play Proxy Dragon. It just gives you a bit of variety should you want it. Sorry guys. The 1 Decode Talker, again quite straightforward and staple on that one. And then the 1 Topological Bomber Dragon. So this can be any link 4 you want, but the reason I've chosen Topological Bomber Dragon is because with Toon Kingdom you can actually protect your Toon monsters. So Topological Bomber Dragon, when you get a card to its zone, or special summon a monster to its zone, so let's say you eat your 1,000,000 to its zone, you then get to, on call, Regeki the board. If you've got other Toon monsters on board, you can protect your Toon monsters with Toon Kingdom, and then you lose your millions, but whatever, you just banish 5 extra deck monsters or 5 cards you don't need, bring him out, nuke the board. You've got Topological Bomber Dragon going in for 3k, and then you've got all your 2 monsters going in direct anyway. So it's very, very nice. And then we finish it off with the double Millennium Eyes Restrict. If you want to play just one of these, you can put in like a Borrowed Dragon if you want to put a bit more money into the deck, or any kind of Link 4 like a Skull Dread. Entirely up to you. But double Millennium Eyes Restrict, I think they're about $8 to £10 each now. So you use your instant fusion target, it kind of negates the Ash, the Ogres, anything like that, and it stops your opponent playing any of their hand traps and gives you a bit more protection for your board in order to set up, because like we said, Toon Kingdom is the most important card in the deck. You do need that to protect your Toons, which is why we play the Banished Engine, to kind of protect the Toons and give you alternate win cons. I think what Toons are missing mainly is it would be really nice for Toons to get a card that says, you know, or like a field spell or something else that says all cards on your side of the field are treated as Toon monsters. Then it can kind of turn your, you know, all your other cards, which would be really, really cool, into Toon monsters to then be able to attack directly and kind of give you an additional win con, which might balance out the negative of Toon Kingdom, basically. So that is it for the deck profile. I hope this has given you a couple of ideas for your ones. By all means, net deck it, see how it works for you, and then make your own changes to it. Or of course, let us know what you think and kind of what you would kind of play out in this deck. Like I said, this is more for fun, but it can be used on a competitive level if you want to put more hand traps into it, or kind of adapt it more towards the meta, and then that can give you the edge over your opponent, because I really, really doubt people are going to be expecting Toon monsters to be dominating the meta right now. But it can be a very, very interesting rogue deck that can cause some issues for your opponent. Even though you do have summoning sickness, they can still cause a lot of issues. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, guys, as always, happy dueling. Also, YouTube, thanks for watching that video. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button. And of course, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button in the bottom left-hand corner and the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. We've got more deck profiles, duels, pack openings, and many more Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos coming up for you all year round. So don't forget to stay tuned for all of that. Thanks, and as always, guys, happy dueling.